Off you go.
Alright, it should be working, right? Alright. Okay. The streaming thing is overly complicated. Of course it is, though.
Faster.
Anyways, alright, let's see what's going on. I gotta do the stupid event. The parkour event. Okay. See if anyone shows up to watch the stream.
Like the wind.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Faster. Nice. Nice.
Well, this event's pretty easy. I got the achievement, I think. Alright. Epilogue quest. There's an epilogue for a parkour event. Okay. I ain't reading that. I ain't reading this. That's why they give us a skip button, right? People love the skip button, so might as well use it. Okay. Alright, so I guess that's it. Then I got these, whatever they're called.
Faster. Faster.
Alright, so I'm gonna do the, what's it called? Tower. I should change the title to my stream. There we go. I don't even know why I stream on Twitch. Nobody watches me on Twitch. But that's fine. Did they change it? Arrow. I think it's still the same. Oh no, they changed it. Because this guy's in it now. And this is... Okay, so I'm going to have to use... Quickly get this over with. Yo, what's up? Alright.
Make it fast.
I'm just doing a quick stream. Doing the podcast later with Peace Week. So I just wanted to make sure things were working properly. That was easy. Okay, then I use Havoc Rover. I'm gonna try. Actually, Jeja's skills are not built, so. But Mortefi. You know what? Whatever. It's a Havoc Rover team, anyways, so. I do need to build my Havoc Rover better. Like, she's kind of weak, but she only does the 4, 2, and 3 on each side. Oh god, I hate this move. It's so cringe. That's the worst move in the game, man. These stupid wind tornado things.
Endless reverberation. Administering first aid. Appear before me.
I guess I should be able to do this, but... Can I escape this?
Leave it to me. Appear before me.
Yeah, whatever.
You will obey. The show won with the sound. Capture the spark.
Need a bigger hard drive so I can stream Zenless Zone 0. I pulled Bernice today, but I only play on PS5.
Enduring the fire. None shall whisper.
Alright, is this the last? Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Oh god.
shines.
Are those two Fausts? That's
Appear
one
before
Faust.
me. Down with the curtain.
Dude.
Shadow descends. Leave it to me. None speak. Appear before me. Wonderful sound. Capture the spark.
Somehow I don't think I'll be able to do this. This team is just too underpowered and I haven't built it properly.
None shall whisper.
What the hell was that? Why did I get hit?
Appear
Delayed
before me.
rock slide? Great.
Leave it to me. Rejuvenating snow. Transmitting frequency.
Another wave of mobs. Oh, it's delayed rock slide, okay. Oh, okay. Alright, that was easy. We'll go to the other side now. This is gonna be the electro side because I don't have GN. I don't have good arrow DPS, so. But this team is built. Oh, where's Shorekeeper at here? Okay.
In war with time. Loading.
Zap strength. It's our curtain call.
Hopefully the stream audio is good. I don't know if the game is too loud or anything, but how's that?
Fast. Pierce
Alright,
through the
we should
stars.
one-shot them. Okay. Now back to Havoc Rover. Actually, I'm gonna leave. See if I can build Jeje a little bit more. Because she's really, her skills. Actually, did I level her weapon? Well, her weapon is this. That's the level 80 attack percent. I didn't pull for her weapon, so could build her echoes a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. Until 20 is probably good. Actually, it's really terrible stuff. That's holy cow. Put one here. Meh. Yeah, I mean, this is Cope. These are Cope echoes. They're terrible. Oh, it's only 15. Yeah, well, substats are terrible. But she needs skills. Okay, I have enough to level them up a little bit. Saving for Camellia. Now. I think she's a sword DPS. I saw the leaks. I don't think Kuro Games really cares if I watch leaks, so. I wonder what Kuro Games. I haven't checked if they're cracking down on leakers. as much as Hoyo does, but I wonder if they are. Alright, we'll upgrade this. Get this. Got some crit rates. Let's go make some purples. I could upgrade the weapon, but I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for her rerun to get her weapon instead. That's what I probably gonna do for a lot of characters. Let's wait for the rerun. Maybe I should talk about leaks. I was thinking about talking about leaks or just including them in the videos now because like there's a lot of YouTubers that just they talk about leaks and like nobody cares anymore. It seems that way. Because I was watching the Genshin Scientists. He talks about leaks all the time. And what was weird is like a while ago he got a sponsorship from Hoyo. From Genshin. So I'm sure they know he talks about leaks. I mean, that's what he's known for. So I'm not sure why the Genshin Scientist would get a sponsor. It seems kind of weird. Like, why would... I mean, he's just blatantly talking about leaks, but... I don't know, maybe Hoyoverse doesn't care anymore. Maybe Kuro Games doesn't care about leaks anyways, either. I feel like leaks aren't as bad as people make it out to be. Except for that stupid leak with the Jinlonen roller girl rollerblade dancing thing, where it wasn't the accurate animation. The leak was like a fake or a previous animation, and then she tried to talk about suing Hoyoverse because she was like, it doesn't make any sense. You can't copyright a dance move. At least I don't think. Yeah, you don't think you can. So. But yeah, I was thinking about talking about leaks. I saw the Camellia leak, and Camellia looks pretty good. I'm getting a little bit tired of the twirly game style that Wuthering Waves has. Like, everyone has like a twirly sort of play style, right? Like, they just twirl around, and I mean, Camellia makes sense, I guess, because, you know, but yeah, I don't know. The combat designers love their twirly gameplay. So, anyway, let's see. So I was gonna build Jeju. Oh, where is it?
The experiment begins.
I'll just have a list instead. I guess I can do one level on each of these main stats, though. What these mean. I have the purple. He gave us a lot of these recently, these supply pods or whatever.
The experiment begins.
Here we go. What time is it? 4:54. What the hell is this? Stop showing me this stupid news thing. Okay. All right. Treasure's a little bit built, so I'm sure we can clear 2 and 3 pretty easily. I don't know why, but I just don't like Mortefi. Maybe because I don't have Gian. He probably works way better with Gian, but Mortefi just kind of balls. Like I've used him. Oh great, it's Havoc resist enemies, but every time I use Mortefi, he just feels underwhelming. Maybe it's me, I don't know how to play him or whatever, but yeah. Or he just works better with Gian. I don't really have anyone to use him with, right? Yo, Cookie, what's up? Oh yeah. The fake leak. I'm pretty sure you can't copyright dance move. I mean, the most famous dance move I can think of is like Michael Jackson's moonwalk, and I don't think he ever copyrighted that. I don't think it's even possible to copyright a dance move. I mean, he didn't even invent the moonwalk. He's kind of perfected it, I guess you could say. But yeah, I was just, I don't know, man. Twitter's crazy. It's crazy, man. Some of the stuff I read on Twitter is insane. So. I'm alright. I'm just, I decided to stream because there's like the tower reset, and I'm gonna do the podcast, the second episode of the podcast with Peace Week later. So I decided, you know, I might as well stream and test things out, test my audio out. I have lots of ideas for videos, I just haven't been motivated to make them, I guess, but also been busy with real life stuff, you know, prepping for the winter, Canadian winter, right? Gotta prep for it. You know, make sure everything's in order, because it's gonna be a frozen hellhole here pretty soon. So, but yeah, I'm doing the podcast in like a couple hours with Peace Week. We're gonna be talking about mainly the other big gacha games that, I mean, we're going to be talking about Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, and Wuthering Waves. And then I wasn't going to include Genshin, but he said he wanted to talk a little bit about the 5.1 Archon Quest. So I said, yeah, sure, we'll include that too. So we're going to talk about those things. For the first time, because I don't play Honkai Star Rail anymore, but he plays it still, and then he just got into Zenless Zone Zero, so we're just going to talk about it. Zenless Zone Zero has been pretty fun. It's gotten a lot better since launch, and yeah, I just want to see hear his thoughts about Zenless Zone Zero, because he just started playing. So, but yeah, we're basically going to talk about that stuff. Not much Genshin on the podcast. And then, yeah. And then I have a couple video ideas. I was going to talk about sunk cost fallacy. I think that's one video idea that I'm going to do. I think people misunderstand sunk cost fallacy. Like, it's only... So I think investment into a game is important, or it matters. I'm not saying it's important. I'm saying it matters, but
The art's freeform.
the whole idea is that sunk cost fallacy is you continue doing something that you don't enjoy because you're invested, but it's not sunk cost fallacy if you're invested and you still enjoy the game or whatever you're doing. Like,
Down with the curtain.
it's really a person. Like, people can't tell you that you have a sunk cost into whatever you're doing, because it's a totally personal thing, right? Like, you can't say, it's just sunk cost fallacy, man, because
Capture the
it's like, how do you know that someone doesn't enjoy what they're doing still, even though they're they're invested? Yeah, because, like, let's say a lot of people talk about Genshin, they say, well,
You will
people
obey.
keep playing because they're invested and they don't want to give up their account. It's like they've invested too much in their account. And that's true to an extent. And my talking points were going to be about basically, yes, it's good to be invested, or like people are just naturally invested into things. And like there's nothing wrong with being invested or not wanting to quit something. But sunk cost fallacy is especially, it only relates to people who don't enjoy what they're doing anymore, right? The only reason you're playing, or you would, like those people that are only reason they're playing Genshin or something or some other game is because they're invested, but they don't enjoy the game, right? So, there was a bunch of other things I was going to talk about too regarding Genshin as well. So, like,
Watch out.
and other games too, because
Tone.
yeah, I just feel like there's like this this thing going around with people saying, well, you only enjoy it because
Zap strength.
it's a sunk cost or something. It's like, it's not really true.
My fear is that
Alright, I gotta focus on this fight.
Variable elimination.
I hate that they just like run around. Like,
Pierce through the stars.
there's no grouper in WuWa. I know that. Like, there's no grouper in Withered Waves. Well, Gion is kind of.
Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration.
Alright, this freaking guy.
Conditions up.
Leave it to me. Iron graft.
How tight is this DPS check gonna be? I only have a minute now.
I'm fine.
tear them to pieces.
Let's see.
Now you behave. I've had enough. Get lost. You'll pay for this. My field of expertise. Pay it back.
Hold on, I see you wrote something. I'm just I gotta focus on
Pay it
this.
back.
Verity. Confined within limits.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a take DPS check again.
Complete overhaul. Export. Prime.
And then he goes into his moves and starts flying around, but I gotta. No, come on, man. Alright, I knocked him out of the sky. So yeah, I'm definitely not beating this DPS check either.
Astral modulation. Warring up. Loading.
Tear them to pieces. Time to wrap.
Wow.
Disruption. All shall reveal itself. Reconfiguration.
See how many seconds I'm behind.
Prime. Reconfiguration. Complete overhaul. Exploit. Prime. Reconfiguration.
Okay, so we're gonna shave off like 18 seconds from that. Alright. Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't want to. I'm not going to do like. I'm not going to talk about Genshin all the time. And the podcast episodes are going to be. This episode is going to be posted on his channel, and then the third episode is going to be posted on my channel. So we're going to rotate the episodes back and forth. And he's going to take the even numbered episodes. I'm going to take the odd numbered episodes. Episode 3 is probably going to be about gotcha drama. You know, just a general discussion on drama, I guess. And that'll be on my channel, but that won't be until like next. We only do podcast episodes like once every 6 weeks or so. So we're not going to do many, like maybe once a month, maybe, yeah. But it's usually going to be like once every 6 weeks. So, like a patch cycle, once a patch cycle. But yeah, we're going to talk about, he's going to tell me about HSR and stuff like that. And probably got questions for HSR, why I quit or whatever. Oh, God.
Watch and learn. I'll fire it up. Blue. Fast in the sunlight.
I don't want to do this in this place.
Blow for me. Oh, bring it on.
Beckon the divine flames. Triumph through sacrifice. My blade yearns.
Oh, bring it on. It's more than time. Flame on.
It should be pretty easy, actually. I mean, I should be able to do this. Maybe not this run, but
Leave it to me. Luminous energy. The fruit of evolution. Oh, bring it on.
Feathers, symbols. Take full. Who's the caged bird now?
okay. Should have it. There we go. Alright, now I have to do this other. I have to retry this. But yeah, like, I don't know.
Faster.
I want to start making more videos, scripted videos, not the, because I feel like that's what I do best as the content I push out. So, and,
Very confined within limits.
but I just gotta focus on making it, you know, instead of,
Reconfiguration.
because I have a lot of ideas.
I've had enough. Get lost. There's no
And I gained a lot of subs from that video. I gained a Withering Waves video. I gained 13 subs from that video alone, which is surprising because I didn't think people would. I thought it would get backlash for the video. I mean, I did get a lot of dislikes, but
Area of elimination.
um,
Conditions up.
I was expecting more hate,
Stars.
I guess you could say, for that Withering Waves video. Because I know the... But I kind of want to stop making Withering Waves videos a little bit too. I also thought about doing more...
Tear them to pieces.
or when Neverness to Everness comes out, focusing on that a lot.
Tenfold.
Oh my god. See, this guy's gonna be annoying, man. The part where he flies up and it's like you can barely hit him. Come on, man.
Tear them to pieces.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Exploit. Prime. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration.
I might be able to do this.
Exploit. Prime.
Okay, I got it. Nice. Alright. Okay, so now this. Okay, Thundering Memphis. Alright, so this is my Chang Li team. Alright. Yeah, it's not too bad now. I mean, now that I've built characters, because I was struggling a lot before, and it was just because I hadn't fully built my characters. I was spreading myself too wide on, that sounds terrible, but I was building too many characters. But now that I've built more characters and like focused on just strengthening up my teams, now it's a lot easier. This guy's a lot of HP though. I missed that, that's not good.
Be reduced to cinders.
How's the game volume compared to my voice? Is it like decent levels? It sounded alright when I checked it earlier, but
Keep fast.
yeah, I'm gonna have to try this a couple times.
Who's the caged bird now? Take form. Feathers. Triumph through sight.
I just realized this is the other one. Thundering Memphis, not the Tempest.
Triumph through sacrifice. No need to blush. Be reduced to cinders.
Well, I can definitely shave off time there. Alright. How do I rate Withering Waves? What do you mean? Or you played Zenless Zone Zero? Yeah, Zenless Zone Zero well, I don't know, there's a lot of male characters in Wuthering Waves.
Watch out.
Yeah, how do I rate Wuthering Waves? I particularly don't like using a score, I guess, but I mean, if I had to use a score, I'd say Wuthering Waves is like I'd say it's like a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe yeah. I'd say that's fair. Because, look, there's a lot of issues with the game that I have. Like, there's issues with the game, but the stuff that it does right is good. And for a gacha game, they are pretty generous. Like, they are, you know, they do give a lot of free stuff, and the gacha's not as greedy, I guess, but still, like, I don't know. I can't really get on board with saying that most gachas. I mean, the thing is, most gachas aren't designed to be free-to-play friendly. Like, the ones that survive are usually not free-to-play friendly to a certain extent, because they have to sell you on pulling or buying asteroids or buying the battle pass, or right. Like, the reason why this game, I don't know what it's like to be free-to-play in Wuthering Waves, because I would imagine it's a lot more stressful because of the battle pass gives so many resources. So I'm able to build a lot of characters because of that, right? And if I didn't spend money on the battle pass, I think I'd have a lot worse experience with the game. So yes, the gacha rates are better, but I think the resource drain doesn't feel that great. Now, a lot of people are saying it's better than Genshin. I don't think so with resources, because the issue with Genshin was it took a long time to get up to the adventure rank to be able to farm higher level resources, but with Genshin, I can build characters like super fast now. Like, now that I'm adventure rank, ever since I was adventure rank 55 and above, I could build characters really fast. And like you can with Wuthering Waves, but you kind of have to focus on I guess it all depends on your echo luck as well, right? Anyways, I can probably do this better, but I don't want to try right now. I don't want to try hard. Not today, because I got to do the podcast soon. So the game overall, yeah, I mean, I'd say Wuthering Waves is like a 7.5 or a 7. It depends, like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And if you really are into the combat, then I can see it like being an 8 or a 9 for you, or whoever's into the combat, right? But like, for me, I just don't have any interest in the story, right? Like, the story in Wuthering Waves is just lame. I don't know. I mean, it's just not great. There's nothing really interesting about the story. The music is not good, but like, if it didn't have good combat and it didn't have like good gacha rates, then it would definitely be like a 5 or a 6, right? But because it has decent combat and because the gotcha rates are pretty good, I'll bump it up to like a 7, 7.5, right? And, you know, I don't think the character designs are that great in Wuthering Waves. Like, look, I enjoy good-looking women, okay? Okay, like, yeah, she's hot because she's like half naked, but I don't really think this design is crazy. It's just kind of okay. Yinlin's decent. I think she's one of the better designed characters. But man, Zhang Li Yao, this guy's, I don't know, he looks basic, man. He looks really, he's kind of okay, but the character design for this guy, he just looks like a generic anime man, right? With a robotic arm and a scientist suit or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I mean, a lot of the character designs
The
in
experiment begins.
Wuthering Waves, they're not great. I think Verena looks terrible. I think Verena, I don't know if you play Genshin, but there's a part in Genshin where like an NPC dresses up as the Dendro Archon, and this like kid named Isak, and he reminds me of Verena because like I don't like Verena's design. Like it's not because Verena's like a kid, but I just think she's like this. It's just bad. I don't know. It's just bad. I don't think Verena looks good at all. Like Mortefi's just like
Experiments underway.
a guy with red hair in a lab coat, right? And these character designs, they're not great. Like
Anything I
Yuanru,
can help you with?
I don't know. So, but like I'm saying, like the combat is fun. It has its fun moments. So I think, and some of the bosses are pretty good.
Faster.
So that's why I'll give Wuthering Waves like a 7, 7.5. I don't really like. I'm not. I prefer to judge aspects of each game separately. So that's why I don't really like giving a score. In like I never really gave Wuthering Waves a numbered score, but because it's all subjective. Like,
Disruption.
what's it called? Game scores. Like, let's say a Call of Duty game gets a 10 or something, or a 9. It's not going to compel me to play Call of Duty because I just don't like shooting games. So that's why I don't like game scores. Like, I mean, they don't tell the whole story, right? Because everyone has their preferences, right? I'm not going to play Fortnite. You know, maybe Fortnite's an amazing game, but I just don't like the idea of battle royale shooting games and then fort building. Like I have no interest in Fortnite.
Faster.
But that doesn't mean Fortnite's a bad game, right? So, but the reasons why I don't like Fortnite is because of individual aspects of the game. First of all, I don't like the genre. I'm not into battle royale. And then I'm not really into shooting games that much. And then I don't like the idea of fort building, right? So I know there's a mode in Fortnite that doesn't have fort building, but that's besides the point. But now they have that mode. But before, so with Wuthering Waves or with games, I don't like giving scores because it doesn't tell the whole story, right? Like, for instance, that's why I think a lot of people like Wuthering Waves is because it has good combat. And that's the thing they like the most, is they want to focus on the combat, right? So they don't really care about the story. If the story sucks, who cares, right? So I'll just press the skip button and then just get to the combat part because that's all I care about, right? So that's why people like Wuthering Waves. Certain people are like, yeah, Wuthering Waves is great because I don't really give a shit about the story. I'll just press the skip button, but the combat's good. I can play the combat. You know, there's hot girls. Yinlin, there's Shorekeeper. You know, I like hot girls, and who doesn't? But what I'm saying is, the reason why we play games is individual aspects, and review scores don't really tell the whole story. And I've always believed that, but it's not a popular thing. Where people just want the summary, right? Like, they kind of want to get emotional about if you give it a low score or 7.5 is not high enough for Wuthering Waves. But I feel like I'm fair. Like I'll play a game that's 7.5. That's above average, right? Average is 5. Have I played a game that's a 5? Yes, I think I have. I mean, I've played a game that would be considered below a 5 to most people, which is Final Fantasy 11, which is, anyways, that's an old MMO. But a lot of people don't like that game because the combat's slow. You know, it's just really grindy and tedious. It's a boring MMO for a lot of people. But for me, it was one of the best MMOs I ever played. So, now the thing with Wuthering Waves is, yeah, that's why I believe a lot of people like this game, is because the combat, basically. I mean, that's what they were frustrated with in Genshin. Yeah, I mean,
Faster.
like, it's really like because
Faster.
what game deserves a 10 out of 10? I don't know. Kind of like not many games, man. Like 10 out of 10s, do they exist? I don't know. It doesn't really matter though, because a lot of people's 10s, like, well, I don't know if you remember a long time ago, there was that guy who criticized Elden Ring, and the Act Man and like a bunch of people were ganging up on him because as he said Elden Ring was a trash game, and he doesn't like Elden Ring and blah blah blah, and he was giving a lot of stupid reasons why he thought Elden Ring sucked.
Faster.
But I don't think that kind of like, it's fine, it's valid. If he thinks Elden Ring sucks, okay. Right? And a lot of people got upset at him, which I don't really, I think is stupid, because ultimately it's a choice. It's just a now that guy was an idiot. Like that, I forget what his name was. He like did TV reviews or something. I'm not on that guy's side or anything, but I'm just saying it's valid for people to not like a game, right? Like a lot of people think Elden Ring is one of the greatest games ever created, or is the greatest game ever created, Elden Ring, right? But it's fine if you don't like it. Like, you don't have to like get on someone's case and, you know, tell them that they're wrong or whatever, right? Like, so, but I mean, people just want to they want the drama, so what can you say?
Faster.
I guess I've done everything. Do I have to get 30 to get the next zone? Yeah, which is, yeah, I mean, basically that's it, right? If I dislike a game, well, I think a lot of people are a bit too extreme nowadays, right? Like I believe there is moderate critique. You can be moderately, you can be moderate on your review of a game, but I feel like nowadays it's either a game is 10 out of 10 or it's 0 out of 10 and it's trash, right? And that's been happening for a while, right? Like it's kind of dumb, honestly. Well, this doesn't reset. I thought this resets. Huh. That's interesting. Because I got 9 stars here, but I didn't realize this doesn't reset. Okay, well. Wait, what is this? Oh, never mind. Okay, so hazard zone. Oh, okay, so that's what it is. This is these don't reset. That's why it's over here. I see. And then the hazard zone resets. Okay. I get it now. I was wondering why that was in a different section, because it doesn't reset. So, I guess I don't need to worry about that for now, but... But yeah, like, there's a lot of extreme takes, right? Because... and the video I made about Wuthering Waves is mostly about... It's mostly about the community who is just... They're overglazing the game. And they're kind of turning people away from honest discussion about the game. Like, there was that one guy I was watching, he made a Wuthering Waves video. He's a Wuthering Waves creator. Like, that's all he makes. And he's talked shit about Genshin constantly. And then he made, like, a video where he's like...
Faster.
He's like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't be overglazing Wuthering Waves. And then, like, he got attacked for it. Or, like, he got... Like, a lot of people were on his case. I don't know what his name is, but...
Like the wind.
So, I mean, that just kind of proves that I was right. Like, the Wuthering Waves community just goes too ham with their glazing of the game. I just feel like, ultimately, yeah, if you think this game is really good, if you give it a 9 personally, like, you give it a 9 out of 10, you think it's, like, the best gacha game around or whatever, then that's fine. But, like, constantly telling people to shut up or their opinions are stupid because,
Faster.
you know, they don't overglaze the game, then what's the... You're not helping the game grow, you're not helping the game improve, because you think everything's already perfect in the game, so why would you want anything to improve? Like, people tell you, well, there's issues with the game, and I've known so many people who quit over echo grinding. Like, there's a lot of people in these type of games that want, they want to min-max, right? So, if I check my friends list, right? So, some people came back. Razor Ninjas came back for, like, he was looking at Camellia Leaks. Where is he? He was looking at Camellia Leaks, so he, like, came back, but he still doesn't play, right? He just he logged in for shits and giggles or whatever, so he doesn't really play. And he, you know, but there's a lot of people, like, a lot of these people were, well, I know some of them. I mean, Razor himself, he's like, I don't really like echo grinding. Like, echo grinding sucks, because he's a whale, but he's a min-maxer, right? And the amount of time he had to put into grinding echoes in order to min-max the substats on his echoes was just way too much. That was one of the reasons why he quit the game, because it's just too much time investment. So that's why, like, that's one of the criticisms. Like, there's some people, like, I will cope with bad echoes. Like, this isn't a great echo. I don't have any crit damage. These substats kind of suck, right? Well, then maybe this is okay. Res Lib. It's got a good crit roll, but ideally I want crit damage, right? But I'll cope with this because I don't want to farm echoes constantly, right? But there's a lot of people like that. They want to min-max, right? So Razor Ninjas was one of those guys. He's a decently sized streamer. Like, he would stream Wuthering Waves and get like 300-400 viewers streaming Wuthering Waves. But one of the reasons why he quit the game is because he likes to min-max, and because of the time investment he put in. Look, like the amount of time investment needed to min-max in Wuthering Waves with the echo grinding and everything, it's just too much for him. So that's one of the reasons why people aren't quitting. And now you can sit there and say, well, it's a good system because you can just farm the main stat echo and you can just farm it infinitely. But there's some people, like, it's just, that's your personal perspective. So, but what Wuthering Waves players do is they deny that person's perspective. They say, well, that person's invalid. He's just a noob, or shut up, go back to Genshin. And that was one of the reasons why I made that video, is because, well, you have to be able to take criticism. And, I mean, if you don't want to, that's your choice, but you're not going to see growth of the game, and you're just going to alienate more people who want to have honest discussion about the game. Or maybe they think parts of the game aren't great and they need improving. like the ecosystem, for instance, right? So, but yeah, that's basically it. I mean, honestly, there's not much more to talk about Wuthering Waves. Like, I was thinking, one of the reasons why I didn't want to make more videos on Wuthering Waves and kind of talk about other things, like Zenless Zone Zero, I was going to do something about that, but, I mean, and then another thing that I didn't like was Wuthering Waves players are like, you can't play both games, right? Like, a lot of them are like, oh, if you play Genshin, then your opinion just sucks, right? Like, who cares, man? You're just a Hoyo shill or
Faster.
whatever, and it's like, okay, sure, but I can play both games. I have enough time if I want to, right? Because honestly, like, there's nothing else to do for me in Wuthering Waves. Like, I'll come back later and get the 30. I probably can. I just don't want to do it right now because I have the podcast with P-Squeak, so. Yeah, I mean, that's what's. I feel like, though, I feel like that's the internet nowadays. Is there's a lot of drama and rage baiting, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the gacha community, there's definitely a certain level of drama and rage baiting and just misinformation. I really don't like VXV Fiction, man. That guy, VXV Fiction, he really talks a lot of trash and he just straight up lies about certain things, right? And I could never understand that type of content, right? Like, it's just, people just want to hear good things about their game or whatever. They don't want to hear moderate things. Like,
Faster.
I can talk shit about Genshin, or I can say, like, the reason why I don't is because most of the things in Genshin have already been talked about. It's been 4 years. So what am I going to say? I'm just going to say, well, the same thing that everyone else has been saying for 4 years? There's no point, right? Like, how many years can you say the same thing over and over again? That's one of the reasons why I don't like Tectone's content, is because Tectone, he was just talking, like, Genshin's bad. He was doing that for like 2 years straight. Like, literally 2 years. He literally did not have a video where he was saying Genshin's bad, Genshin's bad. Genshin community sucks, Genshin bad. And it's like, how many times can I watch that content? It's just, you gotta come up with something new, right, to talk about, right? So, that's why I think I want to, when Neverness to Everness comes out, I want to maybe focus on that game for a bit and play it. Because, honestly, I don't know. I don't... Like, Camellia is cool, but Wuthering Waves is like... I don't know, man. It doesn't really interest me as much anymore. I've been thinking about quitting Wuthering Waves, honestly, but... You know, I just do it because I just log in and play a little bit every once in a while. Or, I mean, I do my dailies and stuff, but... You know, I do the content... And because I have some free time, but like, as far as the story, I'm not invested into this world in the game, right? I'm not invested into the characters. I don't think they're well written.
Faster.
I don't like the setting that much. It's kind of drab. I don't really enjoy walking around this world in Wuthering Waves. It's just kind of lame, honestly. I don't really like it. It doesn't feel good to be in the world. I certainly don't want to farm echoes. I don't like farming echoes, right? I mean, I think pretty much, like,
Watch out.
in my opinion, Wuthering Waves, all it has going for it is the combat and some character designs. And some. Because a lot of them just are not great. I don't think Encore looks cool. Yuanwu's kind of bland and whatever. But yeah, like, honestly, it's just the combat and some of the character designs are okay. But that's it, right? So it's like, now I'm asking myself, should I continue playing the game? Because especially when Everness comes out, I feel like it'd be better if I just focused on that and went and used more of my free time to play that game. Maybe make content on that game instead of just thinking about Wuthering Waves, because Wuthering Waves community, they don't like my takes, really. I mean, they don't like my takes, so I don't know. I don't really want to make another Wuthering Waves video, is what I'm trying to say, basically. But I don't feel like there's much left to say about the game, really. It's gonna do what it does, and the community's gonna continue to glaze it, even though I feel like they glaze a lot of the wrong things, in my opinion. One question, random one: do you still play Genshin? I do play Genshin, yeah. Well, Genshin.
Faster.
Okay, so that was one of the reasons why I talked to you about I mentioned the sunk cost fallacy video I want to do. Is because if I was gonna quit all but one gacha game, I would still play Genshin. Now, a lot of people would say, "Well, you're just a Genshin drone, or you're Genshin brain rot, or sunk cost fallacy." And I would say to that, well, I'm invested in Genshin because mainly I want to see where the story goes. To me, Genshin's an adventure game. It is I prefer fantasy than post-apocalyptic. I don't like Wuthering Waves world. I don't like this post-apocalyptic thing going on in Wuthering Waves. I prefer Genshin's fantasy setting more, because I like fantasy. I like Lord of the Rings. I like Final Fantasy. Fantasy is my jam. That's what I like, and Genshin provides fantasy, and I like its story better. Its story genuinely has good writing sometimes. It's improved. Like, Inazuma was not great. Sumeru got better. Fontaine got even better. And Natlin, I think I prefer Natlin more than Fontaine now. So I like Genshin. The setting, I'm invested into the story. I want to see what happens. I want to know what happens in Snezhnaya. I want to know about Conria. I'm waiting for the anime. I like the characters better. The characters have more personality. They have human. Some of them are pretty stereotypical, like anime trope. Like Dory is just like kind of like an anime trope character. But I prefer Genshin more than Wuthering Waves. Yeah, I like it more for sure. And I mean, the combat in Genshin, I feel like it's fun still. Like, it's not like, is it as difficult as Wuthering Waves? The thing with me in combat is I'll get used to a system. So I'll get used to a combat system. So it's like Wuthering Waves was challenging at first, but now that I'm used to it, it's not that hard. Like, it is more difficult than Genshin for sure, but
Faster.
yeah, Genshin's combat system, I still enjoy it. But the thing I like most about Genshin is it's I just feel like it's a more fun adventure game, right? Like, it's an adventure game. It's not, but it's a fantasy adventure game that has a decent fantasy storyline now. And the lore, I like things like lore and like uncovering secrets, and like lore theory crafting and like stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's what I prefer. So I'm not, it's like, in the characters, yeah, the characters are
Faster.
pretty good. I'm not really into like, I don't need. I played Nikkei. Like, I don't need like super hot women in the games I play. Like, I'm not saying I don't appreciate hot-looking female characters, but Genshin has hot-looking female characters, or whatever. I mean, but it's not like the main drive for me to play the game, right? Like, I know Fobmaster, his main thing is he just likes the characters. That's his main thing, right? He just wants to collect the characters, and the more hot waifus, the better, right? And that's a lot of gacha players. A lot of gacha players are just like, the more hot waifus, the better. Less males, I don't care,
There's
right?
no time to waste.
The quality of life in Genshin. So, me personally, because I am not invested, or I am invested in the story, I don't care if there's a skip button, but I believe they should add a skip button for people who want it. Final Fantasy XIV is well known for its storyline in the game, and Final Fantasy XIV has a skip button, so you can skip all the story, right? So it's not going to lower the quality of the story if they add a skip button, because it'll just be there for people to, if they don't care about the story, they can just skip, right? And that's what a lot of people do anyways. Like, a lot of people, they will just skip, and but instead of having a skip button, they have to like click through the dialogue. So whatever. Quality of life in Genshin. Yes, I realize quality of life in Genshin is an issue, and they should add more. And what I want them to do is to add the standard weapons to the shop. Just like Honkai Star Rail has it and Zenless Zone Zero has it. So I want Genshin to add that to the shop. I want Genshin to... They need to do this. They need to do the 10 pull. Like, even if they take out the 10 pull from chests or whatever in the open world, and they don't give us more wishes on top of each patch. Like, each patch we get like, some patches we get like 70 wishes or 90 wishes for free to play or whatever. Like 60, maybe it's like 60 to 80 or whatever. But even if they don't give us more wishes, they should take it out of doing work, or like not doing work, but like playing the content. And the reason why is because it's just an optics thing, right? Like, you need to give players more incentive to log in and get free stuff without having to do the content, right? So that's why login bonuses like this work, is because it looks good even if you're not giving more wishes per patch. You just do this because people are like, oh great, a free 10 pull that I don't have to do content for, right? So they should do this every patch. Loadouts, sure. My thing with loadouts is, why doesn't... okay, Wuthering Waves is getting loadouts. I don't know why it needs it, but that's good. I'm not saying loadouts are bad. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to have any reason to have loadouts. Like, there's only one set, usually, that's best in slot. But I'm confused as to why loadouts are like so direly wanted in Genshin, but they're not wanted in other games. Like for instance, the other Hoyo games. Like, okay, I believe there's loadouts in Honkai Impact 3rd, but you know, no one plays Honkai Impact 3rd. I mean, well, some people do, but anyways, in Honkai Star Rail, I don't hear an outcry for loadouts. Why is that? I don't know why. I'm not sure, because I think, like, I've already talked about this, but the reason why people want loadouts in Genshin is because the amount of artifacts and various artifact sets that can be used for different characters in Genshin is much, much larger than the other Hoyo games, or even Wuthering Waves, because, like, Zhang Liao, he can use the electric set, or he can use Lingering Tunes. But swapping between the two, there's no real difference, except for, like, a minuscule damage increase. I believe Lingering Tunes is better. The reason why I don't have Lingering Tunes is because I haven't farmed it up, right? But why would I swap between this Electro set and Lingering Tunes? It's just the damage difference, right? But with the sets in Genshin, like for instance, Daya, she could be on Deepwood, and you can buff your Dendro Kanich damage, right? And then Emily can stay on the Burning set or something like that. But then you'll have a set for Daya, like Tenacity set, if she wants to use that for a different team. Or you can run Daya on her damage if you're going to run her as a main DPS or carry or whatever. Like if you have a C6 Daya and you want to use her as a DPS, then you have a different set. And that is different for a lot of different characters in Genshin, because the bonuses on those sets, you can have multiple different builds, right? But I know why people want loadouts. Now this is a big rant on loadouts. People want loadouts because they don't want to farm artifacts. Oh my god, my throat's dry. It's as simple as people do not want to farm artifacts. So they want to use their Hu Tao or whatever shares a set with their Diluc or whatever. And I think they both use Crimson Witch. So that's just an example. No one uses Diluc anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. Right? Arlecchino, she'll share a set with Clorinde except for the Goblet. So they want to swap between sets in artifacts without having to farm additional artifacts, and that's why they want loadouts. They do not want it because of I mean, some people do. They have various different artifacts that they want to put on different characters depending on the situation. That's why loadouts are a good thing. But I can guarantee you that a lot of people want loadouts is so that they can farm less artifacts. And that's why a lot of these games don't put in loadouts, is because artifacts and refreshing stamina on artifacts is one of the major sources of income, and a major thing that a lot of whales do is they will sit there, they will max refresh stamina on these gacha games in order to farm the equipment set or whatever the renewable, like the RNG. That's what artifacts, relics, and stuff in HSR are. They are that because that's what a lot of the whales spend. It's $300 a month in Genshin, $300 US a month to max refresh every single day. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of Primogems. You have to spend 24,000 Primogems a month in order to max refresh every single day in Genshin Impact. Okay? The reason why there's no loadouts is because loadouts de-incentivize people to keep farming artifacts. Because once you have a really good artifact, you can just set that artifact to different characters in the loadout set, and then depending on who you play, you just press a button, and it's not as annoying to swap each time, right? So it's a convenience thing for people who don't want to farm as many artifacts or relics in HSR or something like that, right? Because you can just use your best piece that you get on different characters, and you don't have to worry about, well, okay, it's so annoying to swap, and so therefore I'm going to, because it's so annoying to swap around all the time, I might as well just farm up multiple different artifacts for all my characters, right? And,
Faster.
or just keep digging for the best artifact. And see, like I have a 45 crit value one, but I could use that on multiple different characters on the loadouts. And then free to play players want loadouts is because they don't want to farm a bunch of artifacts. They want to farm other stuff. Like free to play players need to farm up Mora. They need to farm up experience books. They need to farm up, all these other resources. So they don't want to sit there farming artifacts or relics, and that's why they want loadouts. Now, I'm saying that's why they aren't doing those loadout things. That's one of the reasons is why it de-incentivizes whales to keep swiping for artifacts. Like, not all whales. There will be whales that will keep doing artifact grinds until they get the perfect artifact. But I believe it would de-incentivize a lot of people. And then it's just engagement, really, too. Is it scummy? I mean, I guess. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that gacha games in general are scummy to the core. Right? Like, the whole model is based on you spending hundreds of dollars, right? Like, did we forget that? I don't know. Anyways, so that's my theory on why loadouts aren't coming for certain games, is because it's just a way to de-incentivize whales or certain players from keep farming certain artifacts. So they have been doing a lot of quality of life. Like, one of the good things in Genshin is the artifact filter now applies to characters. So, which is good because
Faster.
if you're farming a set, you don't have to like keep what's it called?
The experiment begins.
Also, I'm not going to be able to stream. I'm actually going to cut off stream soon because in an hour I'm going to do the podcast with Peace Week, and I don't want to I don't want to like run out of voice because my throat's already getting a little bit dry. So in Genshin, it's like when you look at a relic or something or an artifact, it doesn't show you all the useless sets. So that was a good filter change where you're not seeing all the useless sets now anymore. Because like I pull up this and it's like I don't care about Xin Jue. I just want to permanently filter through only the Electro set or Lingering Tunes, right? So that was a good change in Genshin, right? Now each character can have their own filter set, because if you're farming artifacts for a character, like I only want the new set from Natlan to show up on like Chaska. If I'm getting Chaska, I farm Chaska stuff. Then when I pull up Chaska to look through all the artifacts I have, so that's good. I think it's really good. Maybe loadouts will come one day in Genshin, but I don't know. Maybe true loadouts won't be there. It doesn't bother me that much, loadouts. But like my main thing with Genshin is I think they need to hold back on the exploration content, and they need to give us more. They need to give us another mode. And that's why I've been pushing for, I don't really have a big presence, but I've been talking about Divine Ingenuity as a permanent game mode in Genshin, because it's just something else to do except for exploration. And exploration being the major thing in Genshin, it works for a lot of people because it's an adventure game, in my opinion. Genshin is an adventure game, a fantasy story game. And you have to do it for the lore. You have to open up more locations that are talked about in the story. But at the same time, a lot of people are getting bored of the exploration
Faster.
because it is the same content over and over again. And Genshin needs a different mode of gameplay. Like, all it is right now is Spiral Abyss, the mini games and events that every gacha game has, and then exploration. But it needs something else. It needs, like, I don't want simulated universe. Like Imaginary Theater is not simulated universe because it replaced an Abyss cycle. So they rotate 1 month apart. Like they rotate 1 month, 2 weeks apart. So imagine, like, but if you look at Memory of Chaos and Hawkeye Star Rail, Simulated Universe is separate from Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction, and the other new mode, Rotation Cycle. It's not in the Rotation Cycle. Imaginarium Theater is in the Rotation Cycle. So what I'm saying is, imagine a lot of people are thinking Imaginarium Theater is Genshin's Simulated Universe, but it is not. Genshin needs a mode that is different from the rotation cycle of Abyss and Imaginarium Theater, and is not just exploration. So, but I don't like Simulated Universe. I don't think it would work in Genshin. The reason why it works in Honkai Star Rail is because it's a turn-based game, and buffs and debuffs are more... you could do a whole lot more with them in a turn-based game. Because what is a debuff if I can just dodge in Genshin, or I don't have to run a healer, right? Or I don't know. I think Simulated Universe would not be a good idea in Genshin. I think it would be better to do something like Divine Ingenuity, or like a dungeon crawler. Yes, you can do Labyrinth Warriors or something like that, but Labyrinth Warriors, I thought, was boring. They could do something like Labyrinth Warriors, but better, like a dungeon crawler, right? Where you go in, you solve puzzles, there's traps on the ground, but better traps or whatever, but, something different from exploration. And you can see them trying to entice people to explore, because the new thing they have in Genshin is there's the incentive to explore like 60 to 80% of the new map, and then they give you like 400 extra Primo Gems, right?
Faster.
So it's obvious that people in Genshin, or like they have the data, and they know a lot of people aren't exploring the map anymore, right?
Faster.
And I feel like they realize that, and that's why they're giving that incentive out now. So yeah, I mean, basically that's above all the quality of life stuff that I want to see in Genshin or whatever. But I think that's the major thing that Genshin needs, is just a new game mode, right? Like something that is permanent, is not TCG, but is something to do with that involves character combat or platforming. Divine Ingenuity is that. You can add in bosses, you can make a dungeon crawler, and it involves character combat. So, yeah, but anyways, like I said, I prefer Genshin more than Wuthering Waves. I prefer Zenless Zone Zero more than Wuthering Waves. You can call me a Hoyo shill, whatever, I don't care. But Wuthering Waves is just the combat and some decent character designs on some of the characters, and that's it. That's the only reason I play Wuthering Waves right now. It has nothing to do with anything else in the game. I don't care about the story. I prefer Genshin story. Even Zenless Zone Zero story is better, in my opinion. Even though Zenless Zone Zero story is way different, it's just a slice of life type of
Faster.
game. There's a little bit of lore here and there, but there's an overarching plot. But Zenless Zone Zero's, it's more, it's better. It's a better post-apocalyptic type story than Wuthering Waves, that's for sure. I know a lot of people are going to be upset at that, but I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's just my preference, right? I don't know. But my favorite story in a gacha game is Genshin.
Faster.
And yeah, but Genshin does have things that it can do better, and it should do better. So the compass gets improved in 5.2. Yeah, I think there's people they were coming in, and then once they heard me say that Wuthering Waves isn't like the greatest game ever, they probably left. I feel like that's what happened. It's like, oh, he's not overglazing Wuthering Waves, so I'm out of here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic about the community, but that's what I feel like Wuthering Waves.
Faster.
Especially the viewer base, some of them, anyways. But yeah, Genshin. I know they're adding a new area in 5.2, along with Chaska and Auroron. By the way, I really like their designs. I think this. I don't know. They're not going to sell well because Western. Nobody likes Chaska. The West doesn't like Chaska. Apparently, Japan doesn't really like Chaska. I like Chaska. I think she looks cool. I liked her story a lot, and I like her design. She looks hot. She looks different than a lot of characters. Her playstyle looks cool, but yeah, they're adding more areas. But yeah. Spoilers? What spoilers? Oh no, I don't want to talk about leak spoilers. Like story spoilers with leaks, I don't want anything to do with. Like, if we're talking about leaks and we're talking about like gameplay kits and like there's a new zone or whatever, that's fine.
Off you go.
But if we're gonna like talk about spoilers with the story and leaks about 5.2 or 5.3, I don't want to know anything about that. No, I don't want to know it. I don't like story spoilers. But like, if we're gonna talk about like, oh yeah, like Mavuika's kit or something in 5.3, I heard she has a motorcycle. I don't really care about that. That doesn't bother me. Like, yeah. Okay, so it'll show Seelies and time challenges. That's pretty good.
There.
And compass will auto adjust, so you don't need a compass for every region. Now you just need to. I'm sure you have to craft one the first time, and then the compass will just change whatever region you're going to. That's pretty good, honestly. So it like condenses the compass into like one item, is what you're saying? Okay, it'll switch by itself, so you still have to have it equipped? Yeah, you still need to craft them, but do you still need to have them? Because you can only have 4 gadgets equipped. So do you still need to have the treasure compass, all of them, like equipped to where the region you want to go to? Or will it just like auto-equip it from your bag? Like, that makes sense that you still need them because you have to attain them through I mean, so that matters for like newer players, I guess, but for me it doesn't really matter because I'm pretty much 100%ed most of Genshin zones for exploring. I've already 100%ed Atlas, so yeah, that's good for newer players, sure, or people who don't have the exploration done. It's good for sure, so you don't have to worry about swapping. Well, I feel like I don't think they're pushing exploration. They're trying to make exploration more appealing and less cumbersome. So they're giving more rewards for exploration. So they're giving the primo gems and stuff. But now that they're doing the compass thing, I feel like what that is doing is like,
Off you go.
hey, you don't have to like swap compasses, because we know a lot of players out there don't have 100% on different maps, and like swapping the compass every single time is kind of annoying. So they're making it less cumbersome. So they're like, hey guys, maybe exploring is easier now, so you can go explore more and get those treasure chests or whatever. But I don't think they're pushing exploration because Natlan's pretty small. Like, Natlan was not a big region. Like the first area. Hey, what's up, Adric? Age of, but yeah, like Matlin was not a great region, or like not great, but like not very large. So I don't think they're pushing exploration. I just think they're making it more incentivized and less cumbersome. Because I know a lot of people, they just did not do the desert at all, right?
Faster. Nice.
And I know this is a Wuthering Waves stream, but we're talking about Genshin. But they did not do the desert, and they did not, like, they didn't. I know a lot of people who didn't even explore Fontaine. Like, they're like, Fontaine, I didn't explore it. So, I'm pretty sure they have the data, and they're like, well, yeah, we're releasing this content. There's a lot of zones to explore and stuff, but people just aren't doing it in Genshin. Like, they're just...
Faster. Disruption.
I feel like a lot of people don't think it's worth their time, because you can get a lot of resources and primogems if you explore the entire map, but it takes a lot of time to get all that stuff, right? And Genshin has a far bigger map than Wuthering Waves does. It has more chests. It has way more chests than Wuthering Waves. It has way more
Time for replacement.
collectible items than Wuthering Waves. So it's just, it takes a lot of time to get all that stuff in Genshin. So I just think they realize that people aren't exploring as much as they used to,
Faster.
because they have the data. They know the accounts and the people that currently play. They just don't have good exploration. So what they should do, though, is in previous zones, they should give you the sanctifying elixir for exploring. They should have like an NPC that's like, once you explore a certain amount, they should give you a sanctifying elixir. Now that they added that into the game in Genshin, so it'll incentivize people who've already been playing but haven't been exploring to go back and explore those old zones, so they can get a sanctifying elixir, and then they can get like their custom artifact. That would be a good idea, right? The desert was terrible. It burnt me out, and I don't think I'll ever finish it. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that did not like the desert. I personally enjoyed it because I enjoy exploration in these type of games. Like, I've explored pretty much all of Wuthering Waves. I have 100% on every map, right? I don't think I have 100% here, though, in the Black Shores. I'm at 91% and 96%, so I'm like almost done with these areas. But I know a lot of people are like, the desert's just way too big. There's way too many underground caverns and stuff in the desert. I like that because it was kind of challenging to figure out how to get through it all. And I did it before the map buff. Like, now there's a map buff, but
Faster.
I was doing the desert when it first came out, so it was kind of painful. But a lot of people don't like the desert, so they're just not going to do it. And yeah, so I think the Genshin team understands that a lot of people are not exploring as much as they used to. Like, when Genshin first came out, I feel like a lot of people were just exploring. They needed the resources from the treasure chests. They needed the EXP books. They needed, you know, the Mora and the weapon stuff. So you can, you know, it's good early game. Like, exploring treasure chests, it really boosts your account early game. But now that people are like, their accounts are built up, they have a lot of characters, they have a lot of resources stocked up in Genshin. So if I'm going to go out for like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour to go exploring, I'm not realistically getting that much by opening a few treasure chests in Genshin, right? So it's not as enticing to explore the map now, because the amount of resources you get in Genshin treasure chests, especially for late game accounts, is not that much. It's way more account boosting for early game accounts. to explore and open treasure chests, right? I mean, honestly, the same with Wuthering Waves too. It's like now that we're like a little bit late into the game, it's like if I open a purple chest every once in a while, it's like it's okay, you know, it's 10 asteroid or whatever, or 15 asteroid,
Faster.
but it does add up. But at the same time, it's like all those other materials in the treasure chest, you know, I could do like 2 runs here and get way more XP. So why would I waste my time exploring, right? So I think that's a little bit of a problem, especially with gacha exploration games, is like
skills and wisdom.
the incentive for exploring is not as big resource-wise too. So I'm on my way to 100% as well on Withering. I have 5 regions to get 100%. The desert made me take a plus 8 month break on the game. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, for me, it's not that bad because I will, like I said, I enjoy exploring. So, I mean, like, I'll like run around and explore, and then, you know, I'll watch something like on the side, right? But even still, like, I don't know, I liked exploring Genshin, so the desert wasn't that bad for me, but I know a lot of people didn't like it.
All shall reveal it.
Wuthering Waves, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, that's what a lot of people are like, exploring in Wuthering Waves is better, but for me, it's like it's the same thing except for you just run up walls faster, right? That's it. Like, that's, I don't know. I mean, the speed, I think it took about the same time. Like, okay, so in Wuthering, let's see the map here. I'm gonna go soon. I have to do the podcast though. In like, I'm gonna end stream in like 5 minutes here, but because I have to do the podcast with Peace Week. Hold on. But like, for instance, like, let's say Natlin was, I don't know, Natlin's bigger than this. Like, Natlin's way bigger than this map. Like, this Natlin is like, honestly, Wuthering map, now that I look at it, Wuthering Waves map is pretty small. I mean, even compared to a single region in Genshin, honestly, like, okay, let's compare this to Dragonspine. Like, this to Dragonspine in Genshin. So, it took me about the same time to complete the Firmament that I did, that it took me to complete Dragonspine in Genshin. Even with all the wall running and movement speed stuff in the Mount Firmament, it still took me roughly about the same time as to complete Dragonspine in Genshin. So it's like, yeah, you can run up walls faster, but I didn't see a difference. Like, yeah, maybe sometimes it's like a little bit faster, but the core gameplay is still the same. You're still running around, trying to find treasure chests, trying to find puzzles to solve. Excuse me. And then trying to just get open chests, basically. So like, it's the same thing. So, but the desert, why the desert was a problem is because there was convoluted tunnels. There's just so many twisting, like, the puzzles, like, to get into, like, the pyramids, you needed, like, unlock keys and stuff. And you needed to do a quest in order to get the next level pass to open a door. And then you had to remember where the door was. And if you didn't know where it was, like, underground caves that were not mapped. So, yeah, the desert sucked. Like, the desert, I understand why people hate the desert in Genshin. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to figure out where all that stuff is on the map, right? Whereas Wuthering Waves, it doesn't really have that stuff, right? Like, there's some tunnels and stuff in here, like there's underground tunnels and stuff, but they're not difficult to navigate, right? But anyways, my point is like the whole concept of exploring is kind of the same thing. It's you run around the map and you open treasure chests. So the builds are Zhang Liao. I'm happy with his build. I could get more crit damage, but I just don't want to farm echoes right now. There's other games I want to play. Definitely could get something better here. Shorekeeper, he has maxed out talents. 10, 10, 10 everywhere. Shorekeeper is up to 999. I just like maxing characters. I know it's inefficient. She probably doesn't need basic attack or whatever, but I just do it anyways. It's a character level OCD. I suffer from that. She has her weapon maxed out. She has 250 energy regen, 257, 210 crit damage. I could probably do better on crit damage for her, for sure. I don't want to farm echoes, like I said.
No rush. Understood.
But yeah, I mean,
I am here.
Plan with
I could get a little bit better stuff, but I don't want to min-max in Withering Waves, honestly, right now. I just don't want to. I'm going to save for Camellia. I have 5k crystals, 5,307 pulls, so I'm saving for Camellia. Camellia is another month away, or more. I think the next... It's still like 32 days until Camellia comes out. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, yeah, I have to go. But thanks for watching the stream. It was a short stream because I just wanted to test everything out. I'm going to do the podcast with P-Squeak in about 40 minutes, so I want to relax a bit till then. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. And I might stream some other time. Like I said, streaming is not a thing that I'm going to do often. Maybe I'll do it more if when Neverness to Everness comes out. I might stream that game, but who knows when that's going to come out. But yeah, I'm just going to do the podcast, and then I'm going to make some more videos. I have some ideas. But yeah, I mean, streaming is not really a thing I like doing, but I'd rather do scripted videos. So anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and yeah, take it easy. Oh, YouTube hasn't stopped streaming.